that you fucking run the ball. You're throwing it. So all these third downs where the defenses are doing their job, oh no, oh, illegal hit on a defenseless wide receiver. What the fuck? Like, the ball was nowhere even near the guy, right? But we're going to give him a first down because he took a hit that you think was too hard. In my opinion, that was unnecessary. Fuck out of here. I'm telling you, I wasn't a fan of that game. I turned it off. I literally, once it got to like 40 to something and like they're just scoring touchdowns back to back.
Right.
Okay, this is clearly going to be a game where last team has the ball wins the game. I'm over it. Click. Maybe if it was like the Raiders doing it, maybe then I would watch, right? I'm all excited because it's my guys. But to think that football is going to get more exciting because the Browns and the fucking Ravens score 100 points on a Monday night game, no, I'm not going to. I'm not tuning into that just because you want to hit a home run on every fucking drive.
Which takes us to boxing from last night. This is going to be short because, well, it's not the last fight on HBO.
It's the demise-based. Oh, why do you keep saying that?
It's not.
Where did you see that they have another telecast coming? Is it in December?
I mean, you can literally type in HBO
we got
boxing
one more
schedule.
Month. We got 1 month.
Right? Upcoming fights on HBO. They're going to put Breckenhouse and Roman Gonzalez. They got a Boxing After Dark on December the 8th.
There you go. And
that's going to have Chocolito on the undercard.
But see, that's Boxing After Dark. So see, this one was the World Championship.
Yeah, but that's the one where they're going to do all their shit, bro.
I hear you. Where he's going.
Nobody was doing boo-hoo-hoos. Harold Letterman was, in rare form. Roy Jones was tolerating Max Kellerman. I fell asleep during the first fight. It was such a bad fight. So, like, this 12-year-old dude was beating up a Russian in the first fight.
Hey, what do you have, like 5 wins or something?
I don't know. And they're trying to justify this undercard fight that I didn't understand at all. Because this was a Boxing After Dark card, too. It was a bullshit card.
I thought this was a world champion. Darn it, Lee.
Well, the main event.
Oh, the main event. Yes.
Yeah, I'm talking about the undercard. Look, I had to sit through fucking 10 rounds of that bullshit. I fell asleep twice and went to bed. Like, I couldn't do it. I can't. So I went out last night. So you're going to learn this, Andrew. Learn to go out alone. Like, right? Still keep a couple of friends. Keep a couple of things that your wife lets you go out and do alone. Because it'll keep you healthy. I'm just saying.
I go to the horse track, Lee.
Right. I go to concerts. You go to the horse track. Yes, I go to concerts by myself. I went to go see a cover band up in Pasadena and enjoyed myself. Got a couple hours in. Drank a couple of non-alcoholic beers. And didn't get into any fights. That's a good thing, right? Don't need to beat anybody up. I don't need to go to jail. And came home with a bag full of food, because that's what you do at midnight, right? And sat down, put on the old HBO Fighterino, and I watched this 12-year-old dude. He looks like he's 12, man. This kid looked like he was 12 fucking years old, beating up this Russian all over the ring, and it was boring as fuck. And Harold Letterman is First of all, did anybody really care, or has anybody ever cared how Max Kellerman has his scorecard? Like, nobody's ever asked for it. Like, Roy, How do you have the fight? Max, how do you have the fight? Like, I've never heard Lampley say that. Have you ever heard that?
No.
And here's why I bring it up as we reach the end of the HBO era. They go to Harold Letterman, how do you have it? All right, Jim. Here's how I see it, right? He does his whole little routine, and he goes on and on. Like, he knows his time's limited, too. Like, this is the most Harold Letterman we ever got in a fight, ever. Like, he's doing extended sessions of explaining his scorecard.
Needs that resume, boy. Needs a highlight reel for the next.
Maybe he wants to keep working. Okay, good
That's
for him.
That's right. He wants to send that video to someone.
I'm stretching this out, Jim. Right? And then it swings around, and this is my favorite line of the evening. Let me see if the Fight Net Radio faithful caught this. If anyone cares, this is what Max Kellerman cares. If anyone cares, I have it all for the 12-year-old kid on my scorecard. No.
Well, we
does.
Don't. Yeah, that's
we don't,
Max. That's Max.
We don't. I want you to go to work for ESPN, shut the fuck up, and sit down. I want you out of boxing, but I can't get my wish. You have to keep talking like you know about boxing, but all you do is parrot what professional boxers say. Like, you don't have an original thought. I'm going to get this through once and for all. Max Kellerman has never had an original thought on boxing. He has never thrown hands. I'd like to kick his ass. If I ever met him in real life, I'd punch him in the face. I mean, I'm just being legit and straight up. I wouldn't pull a blank. I'd like to get in his straight up fucking face and go, you're a fucking man who beat his wife. You're a piece of shit commentator. You parrot what professional boxers say, and you somehow suck somebody's dick at HBO to get a job.
That's true. There have been men that slept their ways to the top, too. Can't just say women.
Fuck him. All right. I think that Lampley was a good dude.
Bing, 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 bing.
Right? I think Lampley was a good dude. I think Lampley, for a long time, went through
he started out
boxing. Like, he's been phoning it in for the last couple of years.
Hell yeah. And he was caught. Didn't he throw his girl around, too? I don't know if he hit her, but didn't he get hit with the domestic
I cannot
himself?
Stress this if I have not...
I want to say he got hit with the domestic.
I think a dude putting hands on a woman is the biggest bullshit thing I have ever seen in my entire life. Ever.
Breaking news, the Niners released their linebacker, Reuben Foster, late last night, as the young man was arrested in Tampa, Florida for a domestic violence charge. This is his second domestic violence this year. The Niners finally canned him. He is gone. Number 1 draft pick, gone.
Dude, I have a hard time when I'm sparring in jiu-jitsu and I've got to go up against a female. Like, I don't even know how to handle that shit. It's much easier once they put a choke on me or do something really aggressive. Like, I could snap to it pretty quick.
Or if you're
no,
fighting
we have a world champion. No, we have a world champion light heavyweight who's in her 20s. And if I'm not careful, she will get around and on my back and start choking me out if I'm not paying attention. So I basically just have to sort of pin her down and away from me. It's a thing, dude. It's not cool. I don't get the dudes hitting women. I don't get it, dude. Every fight that I have ever been in, like actual, real, legit street fight,
especially if
has
you're
been
a
over some dude
athlete.
putting hands on a woman.
It's a professional athlete, too.
So fucking bullshit. So bullshit. Keith Idek for the main event, writer for BoxingScene.com, and a man who actually proofreads his work. Dimitri Bivol boxes past Jean Pascal to win a decision in yet again another boring fight that I watched this morning. I'm talking for me. There's no doubt about that. Whether Bivol's performance in winning unanimous decision has earned him the support of those that he thought the younger, faster, stronger champion wouldn't go the distance with the 36-year-old version of Pascal is another matter altogether. Though clearly past his prime, Pascal courageously tried to hurt the heavily favored WBA light heavyweight champion. However awkward he might look doing it, Pascal also showed that he could take Bivol's hardest punches by going the distance with the fighter that had knocked out 11 of his last 13 opponents. Bivol, meanwhile, failed for a second straight fight to knock down, much less knock out, a huge underdog. Bivol now moves to 15-0 with 11 KOs. He did exhibit defensive skills in avoiding many of Pascal's wild swings and completely controlled the distance against the experienced opponent. Bivol just couldn't hurt the opponent, who was stopped twice by the former IBF, WBA, WBO champion Sergey Kovalev.
Yeah, but he was actually trying to win those fights. Pascal was not trying to win last night. It's kind of hard to knock out someone who's not even trying to fight.
Right.
He mailed it in. He went for a I mean, fuck, how many times has HBO called this guy in the last 3 years as their demise, their fall from boxing has been happening here? I mean, Jean Pascal has 6 losses. They're like all to the main guys that he's fought. He has 1 win against a very old Lusan Bute that was out of the division. No, it was just a stupid fight. It's just very sad. You know, I seen a post from one of the boxing chat rooms that said HBO started with Frazier Foreman and they end with Bivol versus Pascal.
No, it's actually going to end with something even shittier.
No, but Lee,
Chocolato Gonzalez.
And I know, but the Boxing After Dark is a lot newer. That's a newer.
I get that. Yeah,
this is the World Championship Boxing Series or whatever.
Yes, this is the end of the World Boxing Championship Series. For those of you that actually cared, final scorecards were 120, 108, 120, 108, 116, 112. Okay.
Yeah, it's Peter Nelson got what he wanted, right? He wants HBO to become Netflix. Well, he just bumped out boxing. He made it look.
If I were Netflix, I'd get into boxing right now. That'd be my move.
Well, you keep hearing they're going to get into sports. You keep hearing that. These guys, social media already has gotten into boxing, but we're talking NFL. See, all of these companies now have money to just totally wipe out the networks, Lee. They can take it all over. These guys do not have Hulu, Netflix, Amazon type money. They just don't. That's why you see mergers happening every day in the entertainment world. They're trying to stay alive. But you're absolutely right. If I was Netflix, I'd go conquer that and make HBO look that much stupider, if that's even a correct term.
Right.
Yeah. But you hear me. You hear what I'm saying?
I hear you.
HBO is just how sad it was. The end. How sad of an ending this is. 2 non-Americans, 2 non-stars. I mean, Bivol, yeah, he's 15-0, but who really gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck? Without Andre Ward in that division, no one cares about the light heavyweight division. Correct? You got Adonis Stevenson there. Doesn't even want to fight anyone. Kovalev's been proven to be a bully. Edgar Alvarez is a nobody. Good fighter. I like to watch him fight, but no one else gives a shit about him. So super middleweight's probably where it's at right now. You still got the two. You got the two Charlo and Charlos. They're on my mind. You hear them pass the drug test? They did not take it, Lee. What's up with that? You got Spence. He said no to drug testing for the Mikey Garcia fight, and the two Charlo brothers missed their VADA drug test this week. So they're basically saying they were guilty, dirty. That's what they're saying when you miss a drug test. Kind of when you do that to your probation officer, what do they usually say? You were dirty.
There you go.
So, yeah, I did not care about last night. Do not care about the demise. I don't know. Everyone's getting all fucking mushy on social media about HBO leaving.
I'm not.
Who cares?
I'm not. Look, you hired Max Kellerman. You fucking stuck a dagger in my heart.
You hired Peter Nelson. He's the first. That's the guy that ruined this whole thing. He's the one that has the vision of HBO being Netflix and some political fucking network now. Okay, it's that guy. That's the one that Bob Arum always said was the problem. He's the one that carried this right into the fucking ground. So I give a fuck about HBO. I'm happy these streaming apps have got in and these guys are making the highest sports contract ever. It goes to that sport that half of you mainstream media said was dead. Ha! Fuckers. Who's making the money now? I love that shit. That's why I got in. Yeah, I used to box amateur league. Yeah, my grandpa taught me how to fight. But I used to get mad how many of those, the people, the adults in my younger life used to tell me I was a fool for watching boxing. Boxing was nothing but a corrupt sport. That's what really got me into pushing this sport all the way and why I watch this.
Is that why you keep me, just so that I continue to sound like the old person in the room going, boxing is corrupt and awful? You're just having flashbacks to childhood?
To childhood. I get all mad on.
Fuck him. Damn it, Lee. Why do you keep saying that? Look, I just want good fights. That's all. And I don't like. I hate the politics. I hate the politics of the sport.
Oh, I hate. Right now,
HBO decided that they were going to get into politics this year. And here's the bottom line to HBO: you thought you could go toe to toe with the Bob father. You thought you could. Guess what? You were wrong.
You lost.
That's a lot of money you just lost out on. You could have been all over the Manny Pacquiao thing. This is all based on one motherfucking Manny Pacquiao fight. Right? If we rewind this is all about HBO not wanting to put on that Jeff Horn Manny Pacquiao fight. Did I get it right? That's where it started.
And they dominated the American market, though. The most money that was being offered from the networks in America was HBO at one time. That has now been trumped.
I don't think ESPN ponied up all that much money. They just gave them the rights to put all their shit on the air.
I know that, Lee. I know that. But back in the day, remember, you wanted the most money in the American side, you got to get with HBO.